Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to round 11. So, we are really coming down to it now. I have a feeling that there's only a few more rounds left in the game. Um, I think it's on its way out. So, I'll just quickly jump back into round 10. We'll have a look at what time we did. So, uh, yeah, pretty much normal, same kind of plan as we've been going for before. Slowly reinforcing things. No attacks, I don't think. Just bombing raids to Germany. Okay, he dealt 3 fairly rough rolls there, I think, for the bombing, but he didn't lose anything, which is a bonus. I'm going to get onto my bombing, or, well, our bombing technique this round and this game, because I did some digging back on the previous rounds on the War Diary, just to check how effective our bombing has been this game. Obviously, because me and Matt were going for a very heavy bombing idea against Russia, our strategy was to wear them down with raids to be easier to pick off later on. And they've held surprisingly well, given how well we did with the bombing, how lucky we were. But I'll get into that just in a second when I get back on my turn. So yeah, again, reinforcing France. Round 11. Now this is the big turn, because obviously Russia had a decision to make here. They were up against it with numbers. I just hit some very fortunate bombing runs on the Moscow complex, leaving it minus 14 down, so it was pretty battered, and their IPC I believe was about 17. I think it was 17, so they had a very difficult decision to make. So what he's gone for, he's abandoned Russia, which we planned for this. We thought he'd either dig in and just try and hold as best he could, slow us down, or he'd go and make a break for Berlin, which is what he's done here, so we were ready for this. I've also got a plan in place for protecting Berlin, because what's going to happen is I can't stop these units hitting Berlin, but I can help defend Berlin, because there's going to be a 3-way attack, I think in 1, 2, 3 rounds. So it'll go Britain, America, Russia, because they'll all be in position in, I think, is it round 12, 13, round 14, I believe. All 3 nations, or allied nations, will be in a position to hit Berlin, so there'll be a 3-way attack. Again, I'm not too concerned about that, given the troops on the ground right now. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. So yeah, he's gone for the Berlin attack anyway. I don't blame him, really. I don't think there was many options, because the odds for hitting Moscow, actually I'm not sure what they were when he was sitting in there, but they were fairly good anyway. I could have taken the fight here. So yeah, it was over for Russia anyway. So I think they're trying to still stay in the game and trying to help collapse Berlin. So fair play. Obviously, that leaves us with our a battered complex in Moscow. He's left the repairs for us, which is fair enough. So again, nothing much to say for Germany really. Just obviously boarding up the windows, prepping for the big battle to come. Same again for Britain, same kind of idea. They're also very short on IPC now, and that's part of the game plan for us now as well. 26 IPC left for Stevie. I'm going to start this round trying to start chip away at that, or at least prep to do that. Australia, I'm going for New Zealand, and also these 5 bombers need their jobs to do. They've been sitting idle. They need to do some work, so they're going up to Berlin to help bomb the London complex. So we're switching targets here. Russia's been dealt with pretty much. We've got what we wanted in Russia, so it's now on to Stevie. So I'm trying to bleed him dry if I can. So we'll be taking away 1 IPC and possibly 3 here, so 4 very quickly. Dropping him down to 22, and then plus there's going to be hopefully a lot of repairs to do on the complex as well. So I'm hoping the reinforcements into France will become very minimal once we get these bombing raids up and running. So that's good for us. But yeah, my round. Now, just a quick stat for you. I wanted to find out how well or how effective our bombing raids have been this game up until this point before we do any more bombing. So the Axis team up to now have done 21 raids. All on Russian complexes, so the Caucasus, I think Karelia at one point as well, and Moscow. We've lost 3 bombers in the process, but we've dealt 58 IPC worth of damage, which is the equivalent to around 19 infantry, which is pretty significant, given obviously that's Russia is all about really keeping numbers on the ground, and so imagine now, 19 infantry more would have had Moscow secure from me very, very easily. So the bombing, I think, has worked. And also the ratio, if you look at the odds as well, we've done 21 raids. We've lost 3 bombers. That's a 1 in 7 ratio of losing bombers, which is better than we've beaten the odds basically of the bombers. Obviously, it's 1 in 6 generally, but we got very, very lucky. So it's not a usual thing. I think we just got very fortunate with our with our raids really. It's just come down to luck, but so it's been very effective for us this game, which is good. It's made me think actually. I want to probably try and do a video on if this is a viable strategy as well for the Axis player, to maybe not necessarily go as hard as we did. We went pretty hard on bombers. We were going, fairly consistently for bomber purchases, but could you get away with, the odd bomber purchase here and there, maybe one a round or one every other round, and, would that be a worthwhile thing to go for? But anyway, that's for another day. So, right, my go then. 6 fighters. The idea being, it's now time to prep or try and help defend Berlin. So the only way I can do that is by sending fighters over. So we'll be sending these 5. It's time to move them out, and obviously we need to replenish this for the fleet later on. So yeah, we're prepping 4 go back to Japan to help defend. In fact, I want to put actually 1 more infantry in here because I think I want to. The odds have not changed here to defend Japan, so I don't really need to put anything else in there. I'm going to be moving out not this round, but next round with the fleet. Once I've linked this battleship back up to the main fleet, we can then move out into the sea zone and start thinking about moving forward. But I'll get to that in a second. So, defending Berlin. 6 fighter purchases. I'm going to put 2 into Egypt. Ship them straight in. It's going to take 3 turns. So this turn deployment. For these 5 here. Sorry, it's going to take 3 turns. So 1, 2, roughly somewhere around here, or maybe down here, and then 3. So they'll arrive just in time for the 3-way attack. So Britain will go to attack Berlin, then I'll land my fighters, and then the Americans and Russians will have a go. So actually, it's pretty perfect timing because the thing is as well, Matt's stacked Berlin pretty well. It's already a fortress, so I'm fairly sure they can't take it, even without my bombers and fighters. Sorry, but yeah, let's do this. So combat, here we go. Moscow falling probably for the last time now. I don't see him obviously going back. I think he's going to commit to the full the Berlin attack. So yeah, fair play to him. Now again, I'm not prepping. I'm using all these troops here with some transports. I'm going to try and nick this away from the Allies before they can actually react to it, which I think I can do based on what I've seen. Now, obviously, we're going to be chasing this army here with our main force, which is pretty much this. Combined with this in a second, and some tanks. So we'll be here. So we'll always be 1 province behind them. We'll move here. Obviously, then they'll have to move to Belarus. We'll move to Ukraine. They'll move to the Baltic states. We'll move to Poland, and then obviously they'll attack. And then if they win or lose, we're going to hit them hard. So in 3 rounds, they'll be attacked either way. In terms of actually other things, we're taking this final thing and Morocco as well. This is finally Africa conquered, which is nice. It's been done. So okay, attacking moves, that should be fine. I think we're all good. Moscow's fallen. Awesome, it's done. Fantastic. So obviously we're going to move everything forward. So we're going to get to see, I think, clearly in numbers how we're doing. To get everything moved up. Okay, we're keeping this as it is now. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's move. No, I'll leave that there actually. Let's move this up. Let's grab this tank here. Let's move you down here. Let's grab 2 and 2, move you here. The battleship can reunite with the main fleet, so we're prepping to move obviously out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, let's go this way. It's safer. Okay, fighters. Sorry, the bombers are going to go back to Berlin, obviously, because we're going to start bombing London. You're fine here. Yes, the plan's going to be to, with the bottom transports, we're going to hit New Zealand and possibly just Eastern Australia. Yeah, and then with the main two near the East Indies, we'll be hitting Western Australia. So I don't really care about the transports at this point. They can die for all I care. It doesn't really matter. Even if they do, it's going to be good for us, actually, because it's going to draw this fleet away to deal with them, so that's fine. Because next round we'll be pushing out towards America. The idea now as well is we've got 7 victory cities with Moscow, so we need 2 more to victory. So that's going to be Karelia very soon, and probably the Hawaiian Islands. And that's going to really force the Allies' hand because France is not going to be enough to win the game. They're going to need to take something else. So they have to maybe focus back on Karelia or do something special or try and fight back here. But either way, it's going to take pressure off Matt, which is good. So I think, actually, that should be about it. One more thing to move here. To me, that looks good. I think we're about ready. So let's confirm. So we've got a force of 16 infantry. Yeah, 2 tanks, 7 artillery. That's the force that's going to be keeping up with them. Actually, it's going to be 4 tanks. These will catch up eventually. Yeah, fairly substantial, obviously, a force waiting for them here, so yeah, they'll be nipping up their heels as they travel through Europe. Okay, so 2 fighters here. We could even put them here, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, no, why not? Okay, so IPC national production 72 for Japan. Insane. Super powerful now. Super powerful. Obviously, the attack power as well, 164, was pretty strong. Yeah. Russia are out the game now. For production-wise, this is to be the strongest they ever get. Obviously, we're prepping to start bleeding Britain dry as well. Yeah, looking very nice. Looking very nice. I don't want to call it too early, but I think the game's in the bag now, because I don't see... I've been talking to Matt about this. We don't see a way for the Allies to come back into this now, given how strong Berlin is at the moment. They can't if they attack individually at the moment, they're still very weak. If they could combine their forces, which they obviously can't, it'll be okay. They could probably do some damage, but individually they're going to get slaughtered by this defense. It's still a fortress, Berlin, and that's the one they need to crack to win the game. And I just don't think they can do it. Even this 3-way attack that's being planned with my fighters coming in, there's going to be 6 fighters. Plus the 5 bombers, even though they're defending on a 1, it's still something. So there'll be 6 fighters defending on 4s. Actually, no, it's probably 10 with his as well. So 10 fighters defending on a 4 is huge as a defense. It's absolutely huge. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with, and they simply don't have the numbers, and they won't get the numbers from anywhere because Britain's they can barely afford now to keep up 3 transport production. And that's what I'm trying to stop now as well. I'm trying to even cut that down to 2 transports if I can. So the really only hope is America. But even them, once I start pressuring the Pacific, which I plan to do now, I'll be obviously moving out. I'll move the fleet out next round to start pressuring the Hawaiian Islands. Their IPC is going to be drawn back towards the Pacific to deal with this because obviously they have to react to this. So yeah, I just don't see a way back in for the Allies. But you never know. You never know. Never call it before it's finished. So that's the situation. Yeah, it's looking pretty good for us now. Yeah, it's coming down to... I think it's going to, combine to make a final battle for Berlin. I think it's going to be the conclusion to this game, which should be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to seeing the 3-way attack from the Allies. The thing, I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah, they have to attack. Russia has to attack. It's got 1 turn to attack. It'll be in the Baltic states. I'll be sitting in Poland, so they have to attack then. They've got 1 chance, and that's it. So it's going to make for a pretty tense... What round is that going to be, actually? It's going to be... So round 12, they move there. 13. So round 14 is going to be the round where we're going to have the final battle for Berlin. So it should be good. But there we go. That's round 11 for you. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in round 12. Take care.